Poverty's a bitch. And welcome to the code side of the beginning. I'll try not to take too long. I have trouble sticking through a video for more than like 15 minutes. So I'm going to try to keep it under that. No guarantees. I'm probably just going to ramble on because there's a lot to this. So each step is rather complex. The hello world, you always start it. And the point of that is to test that you can write it, your computer can compile it, and your computer can run it. Once you do all three of those things, you have it's the lightning in the pond of amino acids. You now have just started life itself. Sorry, love the analogy. What I'd recommend to code with is CodeBlocks. It is a lovely application. You go to codeblocks.org and you download it. It is very, very straightforward. I also discovered that I've already got programming. I got Dev C++ by Bloodshed. It's open source, so don't go to bloodshed.com. There's a virus attached to that one. Do go to GameForge, OpenForge, SourceForge. There we go. Go to SourceForge and get it there if you want to use that. I'd highly recommend CodeBlocks. It's a lot more fancy and it's some good stuff, and it's free. Download that, install that. Pick something simple like on your C drive. Create a file called code and stick it there. You want to keep it simple and then make just a shortcut to it. Once you get that done, it's going to need a compiler. The compiler it uses is the GCC, and I talked about this. What you want to look up is mingw. So you'll find mingw.org, and this is open source. It's free. It's a compiler. This includes GCC compilers for C, C++, Fortran, Java. You can use this for a lot of things. I'd highly recommend it. What you do is you click right here, Getting Started, and it will step you through. And little advice, like you put it, when you install it, that's why I want the code file to be on C. So C, this has no spaces, and spaces cause the compiler to have problems. So if you throw it there, then CodeBlocks will automatically find it for you. So you have to make sure that it's going to open and then want to install it at that location anyways. So with that said, there is, where is it? Here we go. mingw-get-setup.exe. Download this, and when it gets done downloading, you're going to do one more step, and there will be, I don't think there's a screenshot of it. There'll be a screen of blocks, check boxes. I can talk. And there will be three things you want. One is called base, B-A-S-E, and that will be the base for all of the, Ming Windows, whatever. The second one, there'll be a C, and then there will be a C++. You want to check all three boxes, and I'm afraid it'll mess up my system if I install it because I've already got it up and running just fine. But base, C, and C++, install it at that location. So scroll back up. Here we go. It should automatically choose that, install it there. Once that's done, you open up CodeBlocks. CodeBlocks should run without a problem. Moving forward, let's bring up CodeBlocks. I can talk. From here, you want to have a hello world. I have what I call a master archive. And in it, everyone does a hello world to start with. Well, I've got hello character, hello C and tests, hello C and 2. I've got all sorts of stuff. Floaters and functions and graphics and OpenGL and random2 and save and load and string, and you get the idea. And now for me to find my starting hello world. What's at the bottom? There's hello time, hello WinSocket, word wrap. Oh, that's a good one. But we want to do hello world. With my archive here, hello world is one of them. You want to double click it and it should ask, well, it should identify code blocks as the starting point. So what do we have here? This is when I first created it, literally 10 years ago, and that's when I switched into C++. So I guess that was a year and a half, 2 years in C before it switched over to C++. Purpose, I always do this. Created, that's the date, author, me, purpose. Here you go, standard hello world for C++. And this is where I get it started. So what I've got going here is include standard IO stream, and that allows for the C in, C out, all that good stuff. Now this one is what I was wanting to point out. You can actually make your own namespace, which means you can make things called C out if you want. You know, you could be like, call it whatever. This is going to be something big, badass. Let's call it WTF. Does it have to be lowercase? It's not going to recognize it because I haven't made it. But you can have your own namespacing, which means you can rewrite like C out and have it be WTF. And it's like, oh, we're going to look into the namespace called WTF to find the C out. That way you can have multiple different commands for the same thing. So STD stands for standard. So with it already declared, you don't have to put the standard. You don't have to do this. That saves you 5 keystrokes. It's useful when you use millions of them. And this, system pause it, and we always return an integer. So in this one, Control F9, and there we have it down here. Control F10. Hello world, press any key to continue. This is one thing I really like. You can actually write a piece of code that requires no input at all. It does its thing and spit it out. You could recode the same thing as a second way, run it to see what the timing is. And I absolutely dig this. My next recording is actually a previous one. I'm redoing my intro. Just because I learned a few things and I sound like a fucking idiot. So I'm redoing it. So here we go. With me sounding not like an idiot. 3.2 seconds, and that's just because I paused. Hit it again, it closes, voila. This proves that 1, C blocks can compile. 2, the text we type works and compiles. 3, it runs. It's wonderful. So what I'd like to get going is this do while. That is your engine. Do while KB hit. And I will show you a game engine, but let's change this a little. End line. Yes, please. Do nothing. We could no, we're gonna do nothing. And I like this because con.io, this is a C command. I know it's redone in C++, but C++ data-wise is bigger. And it takes up more memory, more everything for C++, even though it is one of the finest things out there. C just runs faster, and if you really want to get in the nuts and bolts of flicking on and on individual bits, ones and zeros, if you want to flick them on and off and really compact your code, then assembly is what you're going to go into. But let's start with C++, which means this is a C thing, and it works wonderful. I build my entire game engine on this one thing. Well, okay, there's 2 do loops, 2 do while KB hit. This one, as long as there's a it keeps doing it while there's not a KB hit. So let's compile it. Lovely. It runs, and hello world. Notice that the cursor is blinking. The game is running, the computer's running, things have not locked up. This was the biggest problem I've had with C and C++ for about 2-3 years before I figured this one out. And I'm like, oh my god! So this is a 3-year jump for you. I'm just going to give you a little kickstart here. That's how you make the game engine. So it's going to do its loop, waiting for a keyboard command. You hit a keystroke. It's either going to be a single key or a command line. It'll process that, and keep going until it receives the command to quit. So this one, quit command, any keyboard stroke. So press any key to continue. And that's how long it took me to talk. So that's it. So we can do this. Control S to save. Hello world, dink. And wasn't that wonderful? So that's it. Hopefully you get yours going. Hopefully this has helped. I don't know what more to say. It's both applications, the Ming W and code blocks, straightforward, very useful, and amazing. So that's it. I wish you luck, and get to reading your book. That's it. I'll catch you in a week.